Hi everybody and welcome to Early Medieval Embroidery's 2024 Roundup. So today has been a busy one, as I'm sure you're all aware. So excitingly, I started the Bryer Tapestry recreation project, and this is to investigate the use of threads and how the early medieval embroiderers might have thought about the work they were producing, the decisions they made and why, and then their skill sets, and how the materials, because we're using materials as close to the originals as possible, how these may have been manipulated, and how they wore, so how the fibres wore going through the fabric and things like this. So as you can see, unfortunately, I've not got very far with this yet. It's because other things kept intervening, but there is a plan in place. I know I keep saying this, but it's true. There is a plan in place because in May 2025, the Royal West of England Academy, which is based in Bristol, are having a heritage or a hand-stitched heritage exhibition. And tutors and ex-apprentices from the Royal School of Needlework have decided to club together and put a stand together in this exhibition. It's been accepted, and so all of us who are have joined in with this will be exhibiting some of our work there, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to include the Bryer Tapestry recreation project. So I need to get it finished by May. So fingers crossed with that, and look for updates in the new year. Well, talking about the RSN, of course, you may know if you've seen some of my other videos that I'm now an RSN tutor. So that's really exciting. I've already done one class. That was the Bryer Tapestry Bird. And it went down really well. We had people from America, the UK, and Europe, continental Europe. So it was a really nice group. We had a really good time, and we were chatting about my research and their interests whilst we stitched as well. And it was lovely to see some of their work when they posted it on Instagram afterwards. So that was really nice. The next class that I'm going to be teaching is actually based on the designs that you see on the back of some of the Lewis Chessman pieces. So these pieces date to the end of and just past the early medieval period, really. And there are some on display in the National Museums of Scotland in Edinburgh, and there are some on display in the British Museum as well. Sorry, I hesitated there because I was thinking, is there anywhere else where they're on display? I shall do some research into that, and I shall give you an update of that in the new year as well. But you can see that the design, it's wools on linen, so it's similar to the Bryer Tapestry Bird. It's my hand-woven linen by my wonderful weaver Liz, with the natural hand-dyed wool threads, and then we're using the handmade needles again. So if you're interested in having a go on that class, it's going to be in March, so check out the RSN's website. I'll put the link to that in the description below. But the colour scheme is also based on the different colours that you see on the Lewis Chessman pieces. So it's kind of, but I didn't want it to all be monotone, all creams. So that's why we've got this range of browns into cream into white as well. So hopefully that class will go well as well. It's not just the RSN I'm teaching for next year, it's all go. So I'm also going to be doing a class for Embroidery N. They are based in Winchester, but they do online classes too. And the piece I'm doing for them is based on the Lovell Minster jewel, which you can see here. This is so I'm hesitating here because it's always been thought that these jewels were put on the end of pointers, and people used them to point to documents, manuscripts as they were reading them. But that's now in question because of research that's been done on the Unwrapping the Galloway Hoard project. So look out for more on that as it comes out. But anyway, this jewel is the basis for a design that I'm doing for Embroidery N, and we're going to turn it into a bookmark. So it's going to be silk and gold embroidery, which, as I say, they're going to add bits on to make it into a usable bookmark. Embroidery N, that class is going to take place in February, March time. So if you're interested in that, check out their website and have a think about booking a place. But I will let you know how it goes anyway afterwards. So it's not just been teaching over the last year and coming next year. I've been giving some online talks as well. And one of the really good ones I gave this year was to the Embroiderers Guild of America, where I was giving an introduction to early medieval embroidery. And we had, it was really nice actually. So I gave my talk and then we had a really good discussion afterwards with some very interesting questions. So that was fantastic. I had a really good time on that. One of the conference highlights that I had this year was I was an invited speaker. Can you believe it? So I was an invited speaker to the conference that you can see here. And it was in Padua in Italy. Now, I've never been to Padua before. It's very close to Venice. But because of the way the flights and everything worked, it was a bit of a... had to get a couple of flights out. I managed to get a direct flight back home. But it was really worth it. Padua was beautiful. But we were there just before the Christmas lights went up. But I've included a picture here to show you how the buildings are lit up at night. It was just absolutely fantastic. I want to go back and explore. But the conference was really interesting, actually. There were people from all over the world speaking, mainly in person, some online, but mainly in person. And it was all investigating different ways of learning about and what we know about the materiality of textiles within sacred, different religious settings, but not just Christianity, because it went from antiquity through to the Middle Ages. So it was talking about lots of different religions. It was really, really interesting. And there's going to be a book on that, which I'm contributing to. So once I hear more about that, I will let you know. So, yeah, that was really lovely. Actually, I had a fantastic time and I made some really nice connections there. So hopefully there will be exciting work coming out of that conference. Even more exciting, well, no, actually, just as exciting, is Leeds, the Leeds International Medieval Congress, which is taking place. This takes place annually, and I was there last year, but I wasn't speaking for various reasons. And there were a number of textile sessions, which was great. But in Leeds, this one in 2025, the next one, it's kind of a textile takeover. It's absolutely fantastic. So I've co-organised, well, it was meant to be one session with the amazing Professor Mary Valente, who is I can't pronounce her university, that's terrible. I will put it in the description. She's based in America though, and we put a call out for papers and we had such a fab response. We've got 5 sessions. We've taken over a whole day and a bit of a second one. Not only that, some friends of mine have organised another session, which turned into 4 sessions. So they've taken over another day on textiles. And then Gail Owen Crocker, who some of you may know, she has organised another session for distaff, which is again on another day. So we are taking over Leeds in 2025, which is absolutely brilliant for learning about and the study of medieval textiles. So I can't wait for that. And hopefully we will think about publishing some of those papers afterwards, but don't tell anybody because it might not happen. You know how these things go. But talking about papers, I got that journal article accepted. Here's a title: Archaeological Textiles, Senses, Perception and Use. How Sensory Perceptions Affected Textiles in Early Medieval Britain. Yeah, and it's actually coming out in probably between May and July, in Medieval Clothing and Textiles, like the journal for our area of study. So that's really exciting. I've always wanted to publish in this journal, and this is the first paper I've ever written for it, and it's got in. So yeah, it's really cool. And obviously not only that, but I've been doing my archaeological textile analysis for different archaeology units. And here I'm just showing some people some textiles that were found. I'm doing the preliminary analysis in this image here. And I'll put the description of this down below. So this was really cool because a lot of the time the textiles get sent to me, which is brilliant. But sometimes I get to go down to archaeology units, which is what happened here. So this was for, I always say it wrong. I'll write the description in for you. But so I got to go down to them and talk to the conservator and have a look at things in situ. So that was brilliant. But yet there's more analysis going on. So more archaeology reports will be coming out in the future over the next year or so. And then, really exciting, started my new job as a research fellow at Manchester Metropolitan University. Started that at the beginning of November, so I've been there now 2 months and I'm loving it. Can't tell you how brilliant MMU is. And I'm not just saying that because I've just started and everything's nice and shiny and everything, but the people I'm working with and I might be collaborating with in the future, they're just all absolutely lovely and so enthusiastic. And people working, doing different things in the library, and people working sort of on technical side and with the microscopes and stuff like that. They're all just absolutely brilliant, and I'm having a fantastic time so far. So I've included this picture here showing the inside of the building. This is my building. My office is in here. How cool is that building? I get my steps in every when I go in, going up those flights of stairs in the middle. So yeah, that's where my office is based. And then I had to include a picture of the older part of the university as well, because it's just so beautiful, really, as you can see hopefully from the image here. So yeah, I'm loving my job there at the moment. Hopefully that will continue. It will continue. And then finally, something that I said that I was going to talk to you and do lots of videos about, and it kind of slipped for various logistical reasons and things. So I'm really sorry about that. But I did a couple of videos where I showed you the stitch work for a piece that I was doing for the Embroiderers Exhibition, which takes place, as you can see, in 2025. Excuse me. So embroiderers, it's hand stitching and machine embroidery. You work a piece, you send images in, and then the judges decide if they're going to accept it for the exhibition. And in August, it's a long time ago, I'm sorry. No, I handed it in August. I found out in November. It's not too long ago. Okay. But I found out that my piece has been accepted. So that's really, really exciting. So you can see here it's going to be running between February and March. And if you go onto the website, I don't know if it's up now, but it will be up during the exhibition. You'll be able to see images of people's work and a brief description and things like that. So if you can't make it to London, but you still want to have a look, then go on the website and you'll find information there. And here's some images of the work, my little details. So you can see here that I was combining silk work with gold and wool work, and trying to create a vibrant and excuse me, kind of the words I'm thinking of are mishmash. That's not a professional term, is it? But anyway, you can see what I mean. Of different motifs and stitches and materials that were used during the early medieval period, and I was putting them all together for this piece, which is called the Early Medieval Embroiderer. And the whole idea of the piece is to show people the kind of things that an embroiderer from the early medieval period was thinking about, and their stitching and the type of things that they wanted to do or they were commissioned to do. You can see in the details that I've included that I've tried to incorporate different elements. So there's the hand of God here from the Bear Tapestry, and then there's a part of this gold work animal from the Marseille embroiderers. But then I've also used silver wire as well, because you have the pulled silver wire from Ingleby in Derbyshire. So I've tried to incorporate all the different elements that you see in embroidery from that period to show how, or potentially how, the early medieval embroiderer's brain worked and the kind of things that they would be doing. I'm really pleased with the finished piece, actually. I'm really pleased with it. So I hope you like it as much as I do, because sometimes you do a piece and you think, oh, that's not quite what I was after. But this, yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. So yeah, that'd be great. It'll be going on display, and I'll have to go and have a nosy at it when it's up. And then finally, because I know that some of you are interested in my jumpers. I love knitwear, as you know, and I like to knit. I haven't been doing much knitting recently for various reasons, but I'm back on it now. And this is what I thought you might want to see what I'm knitting now. So this is a design by Kate Davis. I love her designs, but I've never actually knitted anything by her before. So I'm knitting this jumper in that lovely red wool that you can see there. So that's what I'm working on over the Christmas period, probably a bit longer, Naomi. But yeah, so that's how I'm going to be relaxing over the Christmas period into the new year before everything starts back again. So in the meantime, I wish you all a very happy and relaxing festive period, however you keep it, if you keep it at all. And I will see you back in the new year. Thank you.